Alright. Yeah, VK5, ZSH, testing 1, 2, 3, 3, 4, 1, test, VK5, ZSH, testing, Pride Network, Group 969. Afternoon all. Not sure who was replying then, but yeah, you were very broken up. Couldn't understand what was being said. Sorry. VK5 ZSH listening.
Kilo Juliet 7 Oscar Mike Oscar testing. Test 1 2 3, test 1 2. Okay. Alright, we're good. Alrighty, this is Kilo Juliet 7 Oscar Mike Oscar, your net control station. We will begin in 1 moment. Okay.
Well, that did sound gremlin-free. Yes. Gremlin-free. Always good.
Alright, thank you for that report. Hello, everybody, and welcome to the Worldwide Pride Net, also known as the Pride Radio Group Net. My name is Kimberly, Kilo Juliet 7 Oscar Mike Oscar is my call sign, and my pronouns are she, her. I am your net control operator for this net. This is a roundtable general discussion and react-to net, and all calls should go through the net control station. This net meets every Sunday at 2 a.m. Coordinated Universal Time. Before we begin, do we have any emergency or other priority traffic? If at any time there is an emergency, please say break, and we will assist you. This net provides a safe place for members of the LGBTQIA+ community, as well as their allies, to hang out over the airwaves. This net, as well as the network it's hosted on, is open to all licensed amateur radio operators. No membership is necessary, and we welcome third-party traffic as well. Speaking of memberships, the Pride Radio Group provides an inclusive environment for all to learn, experiment, and enjoy radio communications by encouraging, promoting, and supporting diversity with the wider radio community, sharing our experiences and learnings with the community, and celebrating and embracing Pride on the air. For more information about the Pride Radio Group and how to join, plus gain access to our Discord chat room, head on over to prideradio.group. That is prideradio.group. Or check out Victor Kilo 3 Papa Romeo Golf or Kilo 3 Papa Romeo Golf on QRZ. Membership is free and all are welcome, regardless of who you are and who you love. Unless you hate us, of course. No anti-LGBTQIA+ people allowed. Hi. We don't want the haters around. This net is being relayed on the various nodes, talk groups, and reflectors of the Pride Radio Network and affiliated systems, including All-Star, Echolink, IRLP, DMR, YSF Reflector, WiresX, M17, NXDN, P25, and D-Star, and Peanut, as well as various RF repeaters around the world, and it's also streamed live on Broadcastify, Icecast, which at the moment Icecast is down, and via my YouTube channel, which can be found by searching for my call sign, Kilo Juliet 7 Oscar Mike Oscar. We also have a web transceiver available for folks who don't have any other way of connecting to this network. For more information on how you can connect to this network, or for our live stream links, visit prideradionetwork.com. That is prideradionetwork.com. You can also track and follow this net by downloading NetLogger on Windows, Linux, or Mac OS from netlogger.org. That is netlogger.org. NetLogger is a fantastic piece of software that allows you to log into the net and view a list of call signs in real time and be able to follow along with the net. For Android users, you may download NetScraper instead. That is NetScraper. And for you iPhone users, well, I still don't know of an iPhone compatible app yet. So if any of y'all know one, let your girl know and I will add that to the list. Alrighty then, before we begin this evening's net, do we have any news, announcements, or other items of business for the Net and the Pride radio group?
BK.
Alright, Tony, go for it.
Yeah, two things. One, we'll need someone to hook up the Pride Echolink conference via Echolink. All Star's gone and done its thing and dropped the link again. And yeah, I'm not able to bring it up. I'm actually portable in Melbourne. And I'll be short on time check, and I'll be disappearing sometime in the next half hour or so. And the other is there will be some planned IP migration sometime in the next few weeks, which will affect both Pride and the IRLP reflector with some temporary outages and maybe a couple of other Echolink services. So yeah, that's the latest updates. Yeah, I'm at a pro running meet in Braybrook in the western suburbs of Melbourne here for the next few hours, and first race is at 3, but a bit of stuff to do before then. KJ7 OMO, the group VK3JD.
Alright, copy that. Thank you for the announcement. One moment while I reconnect the folks on Echolink. Kilo Juliet 7, Oscar Mike Oscar. Alright, sorry about that. Yeah, the Echolink, the Pride Echolink conference has been reconnected to the network via a temporary bridge. Okay, where was I? Oh yes, oh yes, oh yes. Alright, since there is no more news items at this time, I will go ahead and start taking some check-ins. Let's start off with mobile short on time or in and out. So if you're mobile, don't have much time, or if you simply want to pop in for a quick hello and then pop out, you may come down with your call sign slowly, twice, and phonetically. And if you like, you may give us your pronouns as well. And VK3JED, I got you checked in. Do we have any mobile short on time or in and out stations?
VK5, ZSH. Yes, I'm going to be in and out for now. There, Kimberly. Thanks for putting on the show, etc. And if you're listening there, Tony, good luck for today. And yeah. All right, back to you, Kimberly. KJ7IMO, VK5, ZSH. Might be back a little bit later. We'll see how it goes. All right, back to you.
All right, VK5ZSH, KJ7OMO returning. All right, thank you for your in and out check-in, and I shall say 7-3. Do we have any other mobile short on time or in and out stations? All right. Let's go ahead and take check-ins from anyone anywhere. So anybody anywhere, if you'd like to check in, all I need are your call signs slowly, twice, and phonetically. And if you wish, you may give us your pronouns as well.
This is
KJ7OMO. Please check in. Alpha Echo 4 Whiskey X-Ray. Alpha Echo 4 Whiskey X-Ray. He, his. Mark in West End, North Carolina.
All right, I got Alpha Echo 4 Whiskey X-Ray, and we have a doubling station. Who doubled?
This is KC3VIU, TV in Stevens, Pennsylvania.
Kilo Charlie 3 Victor India uniform, got you down. Do we have anybody else out there wishing to check in? Alright, I do see someone on the web transceiver, so I will give them temporary transmit privileges until they close their web browser. One more time, do we have anybody else out there wishing to check in to the Worldwide Pride Net, also known as the Pride Radio Group Net? All I need are your call signs slowly, twice, and phonetically, and you may also include your pronouns in your transmissions if you wish. This is Kilo Juliet 7 Oscar Mike Oscar standing by for more check-ins.
N3VEM, that's November 3, Victor Echo Mike, Vance in Whitmer, PA, he, him.
Charlie Lima Delta, Victor Kilo 5, Charlie Lima Delta, over.
Alright, well, we got 3 stations this time, but I was only able to copy 2 of you. I've got down November 3 Victor Echo Mike and Victor Kilo 5 Charlie Lima Delta. Who else is out there?
Victor Kilo 3, Tango Charlie Papa. Victor Kilo 3, Tango Charlie Papa.
Holy moly! Alright, Victor Kilo 3, Tango Charlie Papa. Do we have anybody else out there wishing to check in at this time? Alright, one more time. Do we have anybody else out there wishing to check in at this time? Alright, well, looks like we have a decent start to the net, so let's start off with Victor Kilo 3, Juliet Echo Delta, Kilo Juliet 7, Oscar Mike Oscar. The mic is yours.
Yeah, g'day all. For those that didn't hear me earlier, live from the Pro Athletics at Braybrook, Western Melbourne, in the western suburbs, that is. You've got a few places this afternoon at 3 o'clock. This time. Yeah, I'm going to the 800 metre open finals get started. I'm the over 45s 800. So yeah, quite a warm, sunny, breezy sort of day. Not a lot of radio has been happening on we'll be heading up to Sydney in a few days for the National Masters Championships over next weekend. Haven't been up to Sydney for several years, so it'll be nice to get back up there again and hoping to maybe meet one or two club members. We'll have to play that one by ear because the weekend itself I know is fairly busy. So it could be a few factors there. Anyway, that'll do this round. I may get one more in before I pull the plug. KJ7 Malmo with the group BK3 JD with commentary, wind noise and the bold passing plane in the background.
And for those of you who are on the YouTube stream, sorry for all the clicking noises and all that stuff. I don't yet have a way to filter all that out, but I'll figure out a way to filter all that stuff out later on. Alright, VK3JED KJ7OMO returning. Alright, not a problem. I did hear the wind noise, but you were audible for the most part. Alpha Echo 4 Whiskey X-Ray Kilo Juliet 7 Oscar Mike Oscar, we'll toss it over to you.
Well, good evening, Admiral, and thank you for taking my check-in, and good evening to everybody on the net. This is Mark in West End, North Carolina, and let's see, what do I have to report? I don't know. Spent the last couple of days before last night kind of monitoring that severe weather that we had going through. I participated in a number of, sort of relaying on some Skywarn nets via Echolink, and mostly I was kind of keeping an eye on all that. due to my role for Red Cross National Headquarters. But I was really pleased to see, although we certainly had plenty of reports of tornadoes and wind damage, the damage seemed to be very sporadic here and there, and really very few injuries and no fatalities I'm aware of. So I'm really kind of relieved. It could have been so much worse. And it's been a beautiful day here, and I've just basically spent the day fooling around on 10 meters. This morning I wasn't contesting, but I was going after some of those European stations who were contesting, and I was actually thinking of you, Kimberly, this morning a little bit because of how you do such a great job of pausing and keeping space there. Some of these folks they were calling out CQ so quickly I couldn't finish my call sign before they were calling CQ again. So, it's like, guys, nobody's going to call you. So let me key out. And the rest of the day, I pretty much just spent kind of building up the communications hub that I've mentioned before, and building in more functionalities and fixing problems here and there, and it's really turning out pretty nice. So, don't have anything else to add. I'll go ahead and turn it back to you, Kimberly. And again, thank you for taking my check-in, and my best to everybody on the net. This is Alpha Echo 4 Whiskey X-Ray.
Alrighty, Alpha Echo 4 Whiskey X-Ray Kilo Juliet 7 Oscar Mike Oscar returning. Well, I'm not any sort of admiral in real life, though in a video game called Star Trek Online, I do have the admiral rank on one of my characters. Though I haven't played Star Trek Online in quite some time. Anyways, yeah, that sounds all awesome there. It looks like you had a little bit of fun. Kilo Charlie 3 Victor India uniform. We'll toss it over to you. Kilo Juliet 7 Oscar Mike Oscar.
Yes, thank you, Kimberly. This is KC3VIU, Phoebe. Actually, I have quite a tale to tell. I'll probably need 2 bumps in the repeater cycle. But last weekend, I think anyone might remember I was saying we were going to Philadelphia to pick up a lady who's been left homeless, and we went down and got her, picked up a cat, and she rode off on a motorcycle, and we went to the place where she had her travel trailer, and with a little bit of fiddling, we got that all hooked up and got her back here to Lancaster County. And I tell you, I have never seen a cat that really defines the word chill and zen like her cat Sunshine does. This cat, we took it into a restaurant, hamburger place. It's a kind of, say it's like medium upscale. It's far better than McDonald's. But it's not, like really expensive. And we ordered, she put the cat on one of the seats. The cat just sat there. She went and got her drink, came back. I went and got my drink, came back, and the cat moved over across the seat and sat next to me. And the cat was just perfectly behaved. I mean, this is so cool. And, of course, the lady we went and got, she was so grateful. We got her set up. We were hoping to get some electricity to her trailer. It didn't quite work out, but I gave her a bunch of hand warmers and some other things to get her warm. By Tuesday afternoon, I'm like, why don't you come over? So, and one of these things where I just went ahead and had the courage. Give another break here. set up a place for her to sleep overnight, and she rested straight through the night. And next morning, we found and took her to her Lancaster County, quote, forever home, unquote. At least we're going to say it's long-term forever home. It's not, not permanent per se, but it's as permanent as she's known for quite a while, and she'll be able to stay here nearly indefinitely. And it's really going well, because the other day she sent me a message. She says, I was woken up and there were 8 deer outside her trailer, and the cats, both she and the cats, slept amazingly well. So I'm so proud of the work our group did to help her out. And before I start crying, I'm going to send it back to you, Kimberly. This is KC3VIU, back in net control.
All right, Kilo Juliet 7, Oscar Mike Oscar returning. Well, it's good that you were able to find a home for that furball. We have a Mastodon check-in from Kilo X-Ray 4 Yankee Tango. Kilo X-Ray 4 Yankee Tango, thanks for your check-in. Unfortunately, Firefox does not play nicely with the web transceivers, so my suggestion is to try Chromium or Chrome. Or you could just type your responses out and I could just read them over the air. That also works. November 3, Victor Echo Mike. Over to you. Kilo Juliet 7, Oscar Mike Oscar.
Hey, good evening, everybody on the net. Well, I don't know how to follow up with what Phoebe shared. That's just awesome. Everything that I've been up to suddenly feels very, very insignificant in comparison. But I'll still share it anyway. So yeah, I've just been very busy the last couple weeks. My All-Star node on my repeater here had actually gone down, and went through a couple gyrations of getting it up and running. So I just last night finished getting it up and running again. I still have some of my kind of programming and scheduling stuff to update, but at least the node is up and running again. I actually ended up getting a refurbished Lenovo ThinkCentre mini PC and actually installed All-Star Link on that, just because of the kind of unobtainium of Raspberry Pis and some of the other nonsense around Raspberry Pi. I wanted to just avoid those if possible. So I have it running on a tiny little $80 refurbished PC now, and it seems to be chugging along pretty well. So that's the repeater update, and I'm still plugging away with my Rocket project. I have the APRS side of the Rocket stuff working now, so now the new version of the Rocket is basically essentially just need the final physical pieces for some of the assembly and to start painting and start doing kind of the testing stuff. So it's coming along pretty nicely. And I've recorded a QSO Today Expo presentation for that'll be later this month. So that presentation basically talks about version 1 that we crashed, and then the changes that we're doing for version 2. So I've been up to some of the Rocket stuff with the kiddos, and yeah, this evening has just been kind of hanging out. When the net first started, I missed the preamble because my oldest daughter and I were having a rousing match of Scrabble, which we finished up not too long ago. So I came in and plunked down to check in, and she's here playing Super Mario 3 on the Retro Pi. So that's kind of what I'm up to for this evening. So I'll pass it back to you, Kimberly. Thanks for running the net this evening, and I should be around for a couple rounds. N3 VEM.
Alrighty, not a problem. It happens, and awesome to know that you finally got that repeater going on a refurbished PC there. I should get me another one of those little thin client PCs so that I could do something with it. Anyways, Victor Kilo 5, Charlie Lima Delta, Kilo Juliet 7, Oscar Mike Oscar.
KG7 OMO and the group VK5 CLD. Copy on the little Lenovo mini computers to continue on that thread of the conversation. I have a small handful of them effectively running my my home lab at home for hypervisor VM hosts and my auto RX machine for the radio songs that I moved off of a Pi for the simple reason that the Pi was needed elsewhere and that they're basically out at Stadium right now. They're very good and very capable machines and are quite good on the power draw and heat output, which is quite useful when the space you've got to run them in amounts to your bedroom. Coming in on the Yaesu Fusion side again this week, I had wanted to try IRL as just another way of seeing my options for making it into the net from the Adelaide region here. So I had driven up the hill from my QTH, just parked off of the side of the road near a pine plantation. But I failed to remember that the Amateur Radio Experimenters group here in Adelaide is holding a fox hunt day today, and they're using the local IRLP repeater, enabled repeater for their liaise for that. So I'm back on the Fusion side, but my MMDVM board has now arrived, so that'll be what the Pi was repurposed for. It's got to go over to that. I've just got to solder some headers up, and then hopefully I should be into the net through either YSF or I should get my my DMR radio loaded up with a code plug for free DMR and come in through that way. Something new and fun to play with, because while Fusion does appear to be okay, I have had a few little gremlins with it, so it would be nice to finally get on DMR. That'll be it for my round, passing it back. KJ7OMO and the group VK5CL.
VK5 CLD KJ7OMO returning. Alrighty, well that sounds pretty dang good. Congratulations on your on receiving your hotspot. You're gonna have a load of fun with that. Just make sure you have your DMR ID from radioid.net handy so that you could program that into the hotspot and make it work, cause you won't be able to connect to anything, not even YSF, on that hotspot until you get your DMR ID on that radio, on that little hotspot. You're sounding pretty good coming in through WiresX, I see. Anyways, Victor Kilo 3, Tango Charlie Papa, Kilo Juliet 7, Oscar Mike Oscar.
Yeah, good afternoon, everyone. Not long got home from local Hamfest, which for once was a 10-minute drive away, not a 2-hour drive away like normal. Still working out who got the bargain safe. It was me or the people I bought people from, but I got what is reported to be a 400 watt amplifier for about $200 So if it works out, that's going to be fantastic, because all my radios are QRP, and I've always been meaning to upgrade, but hasn't been a priority money-wise. So exciting to see one way or the other. Go to the house yesterday morning to try and do a little bit of a go-around propagation and make the most of things at sunrise. But the bands are extremely dead at the time, so it taken me about 2 hours to get my full contacts to activate a photo summit, so that was exciting, I hoped. I also picked up a UHF-only mobile transceiver to do some modifications to use it as an all-star node. So I've got a radio that is actually okay for all-star, because at the moment I'm using my phone and it's driving me bananas how I seem to have a bunch of issues with reliability with it, and not always the most understandable, so I would actually use a radio for the stuff as opposed to my phone. I think it's everything at the moment. I'm just trying to dig my way through manuals for 20-year-old bits of gear and see if it works, understand what I need to do, and also do the research with the amplifier, see if there's anything I need to check before I apply power to it. It's got a little bit of power to it, so I know there's a chance that some older components might not be too happy and something might break, so I'm trying to do some research ahead of time. But that's about it for me at the moment. KJ7 November, VK3, Tango Charlie Papa.
Alrighty, VK3 TCP KJ7 OMO returning. Not much to say at the moment. Yeah, we're at the bottom of the list again. We do have Mastodon traffic from Alpha Echo 4 Whiskey X-Ray. He says, sorry, I had to sign off early. Kid is sick. Oh no, sorry to hear that. Hopefully your kid gets better. And I will acknowledge Kilo X-Ray 4 Yankee Tango once again. Thanks for your message on check-in. And once again, sorry that you were not able to transmit via the Firefox browser. Alright, we're at the bottom of the list, so let's see if we have anybody else out there wishing to check in to the Worldwide Pride Net, also known as the Pride Radio Group Net. All I need at the moment is just your call sign slowly, twice, and phonetically. And if you like, you may throw your pronouns out there as well. This is Kilo Juliet 7 Oscar Mike Oscar she her, and I'll be standing by for any additional check-ins to the net.
Yeah, going to have to jump in here, Kimberley. I'm going to have to check out and start thinking about what's happening here. So I'll say 7-3, and hopefully the rest of the net goes well. Cheers all, KJ7 OMO, VK3 JD.
Alright, Tony, no problem. Thanks for stopping by in 7-3. Do we have anybody else out there wishing to check in at this time? Alrighty, no additional check-ins at this time. It looks like AE4WX had to sign off, but real quick, we'll check in with that station anyway before I cross him off the list. AE4WX KJ7OMO. Alright, I thought so. If you can hear me, thanks for stopping by, and 7-3, and hope your kid feels better. Kilo Charlie 3, Victor India Uniform, Kilo Juliet 7, Oscar Mike Oscar.
Hey, Kimberly. KC3 VIU. Phoebe here. Yeah, I wanted to make a correction to the thing there. I probably didn't make it too clear. We helped a transgender woman and her cat, and they're now living in a place in southern Lancaster County where she's so much more relaxed. I heard even some feedback from her this morning. She was able to get out and help do some a little bit of some light activities and stuff like that with the person that she's staying with. She has a mobile trailer that we moved for her. So, good. Yeah, I mean, it was really so amazing to be able to help this person out. I saw them online 3 weeks ago and thought, what am I, this one little person, going to do to help this other woman out? And it was, I'm not trying to brag here. I just want to let other people know that if you think you're nobody, you're somebody. And every little bit helps. So, back to net control from KC3 VIU.
Alright, Kilo Charlie 3, Victor India Uniform, Kilo Juliet 7, Oscar Mike Oscar returning. Alright, well, it's awesome to know that the woman was able to find along with her cat, was able to find a place to live. That's really awesome of you to help her get established, with new housing and all that stuff. Next thing to do is to get her established with a ham radio license. Hi. Well, only if she wants to. November 3, Victor Echo Mike, Kilo Juliet 7, Oscar Mike Oscar.
Okay, well, yeah, and I can vouch that the southern end of the county is a very scenic place. So if that's where she ended up, that's a nice place to be, and that also explains why when Phoebe shared that she was seeing deer this morning, there is a lot of deer down in that area. My wife's family all was from that kind of southern end of the county. Our families both go back multiple generations in the area. Hers a little further than mine, but the southern end of the county is where her ancestors all grew up. So we've got a lot of roots in that area. So it's a neat area for sure. But yeah, this round I'll actually keep it fairly quick because I heard the baby snort a little bit. So I think I might have to kind of dash over and pick up a baby and rock the baby a little bit. But I should still be listening, and we'll probably be around for the next round. But might have to boogie to get somebody settled back to sleep here real quick. So I'll pass it back to net control. N3 VEM.
That sounds like a beautiful place. And not a problem, Vance. I can hear your kids hollering in the background. Victor Kilo 5, Charlie Lee Mike Delta, Kilo Juliet 7, Oscar Mike Oscar.
J7 OMO and the group VK85 CLD. Thank you for the tip there on the last round with the DMR ID being required for YSF for some reason. I'll be sure to remember to set that, although I think DMR will be the main priority there. From the experience I've had here with the System Fusion, the digital vocoder sound is going to take some getting used to in my ability to copy people. My auditory process is not the greatest at the best of times, and the digital compression sure isn't helping. With the couple of mentions of All-Star Link, a couple of places in the net today, I think I might investigate that as an option and try to keep it analog, at least on my side at least, in the hopes of making it a bit easier to copy. But that might have to be down the line, because my brain has immediately jumped to, I want to play with all the digital and linked things, and I've been looking at both All-Star and P25 before I've even gotten myself set up on DMR and YSF properly. So I think I need to pace myself, but All-Star seems like something to check out, mostly also because acquiring weird radios is a bit of a fun side hobby, even though there's not too many opportunities to do that around the VK5 area. We appear to have a bit of a lack of local handsets, but yeah, I would like to have an All-Star node around just so I can have a bit of a play with analog, whatever I've managed to find this week. Putting it back to KJ7, OMO in the group, VK5 CLD.
VK5 CLD KJ7 OMO returning. Yeah, not a problem. The YSF protocol itself does not require any kind of DMR ID. In fact, DMR is the competitor to Yaesu, so of course Yaesu's not gonna, require a DMR ID. But the problem is the MMDVM Pi-Star hotspots do require a DMR ID just to turn on. So, yeah, there's that. Yeah, nothing wrong with playing with the different digital audio, digital voice modes. And of course, nothing wrong with having an analog voice node there as well. And yeah, All-Star is a pretty fun thing to play with once you get it going. And oh yeah, and with the All-Star node, you could also enable the built-in Echolink plugin and have the best of both worlds, All-Star and Echolink all in one node. Anyways, we're gonna toss it over to Victor Kilo 3, Tango Charlie Papa, Kilo Juliet 7, Oscar Mike Oscar.
Oh, yeah. The VK5 CLD, I understand exactly what you mean with the digital voice encoding. I've got a DMR radio, which I barely touch on DMR because the quality of it just sends me bananas. It reminds me of bad MP3s of the 90s. It was just crappiness. But it's always fun to play with new modes, and I'm sure when I get a radio that supports some of the other proprietary digital modes, I'll have a good play with that one too. Working away through investigating this radio I've picked up, and well, at least it seems to power on, but now I've got to work out how on earth I even set frequencies of it, because here it's more of a commercial radio that doesn't actually allow me to choose frequencies, so I've got to go dig into programming cables and find manuals and bits and pieces. So I think I've accidentally bought a second project on top of the project I was trying to do. So yay for me. I managed to end up with the weekend with more projects than I started with once again after finishing the projects, which is less than ideal. So I don't think I've got much else more to add, so I'll throw it back to you, Kimberly. KJ7 OMO, VK3, Tango Charlie Papa.
Already, Victor Kilo 3, Tango Charlie Papa, Kilo Juliet 7, Oscar Mike Oscar returning. Not a problem. I don't have anything to comment at this time, so we've reached the bottom of the list. Let's see if we have anybody else out there wishing to check into the Worldwide Pride Net, also known as the Pride Radio Group Net. All you need to do is throw your call signs out there slowly, twice, and phonetically, and you may also throw your pronouns out there as well if you wish. This is Kilo Juliet 7, Oscar Mike Oscar, she, her, and let's shake this tree up a bit and see who else will fall off of it and check into the net. Alrighty, do we have anybody else out there wishing to check into the net? Please come now. Already hearing nothing. We're gonna toss it back up to Kilo Charlie 3 Victor India Uniform, Kilo Juliet 7 Oscar Mike Oscar.
Thank you, Kimberly. KC3VIU. I've been so, like, I know I'm 54 years old right now, and I know since I've been interested in ham radio, amateur radio, it's always been that it was mostly analog. You know, there were all the different, like, teletype things, and then there's Paxor and other digital modes and stuff. But now all the digital voice stuff is, like, I'm in way over my head. Is there a decent, like, online reference that somebody could post some information about? I need to get caught up on that particular aspect of amateur radio. And something with some fairly open and honest reviews of the different systems and voice compression, because, yeah, there are some codecs that sound really awful, like there's some kind of, like, bad fan noise, not window fan or blowing fan, but more like at a sports arena. It sounds like there's a, it's got, you know, some weird sound in the background. It just drives me nuts. Hi. Just a little advice for a new amateur radio operator. Thank you. Back to Night Control, KC3VIU.
KC3VIU, KJ7OMO, returning. I am not sure about any of that. Yeah, I'm drawing a blank here, so yeah, I don't know anything about that, unfortunately. And but hopefully one of the other stations, or more than one of the stations, would, either one or more than one of the other stations on the list will hopefully chime in with something. November 3, Victor Echo Mike, Kilo Juliet 7, Oscar Mike Oscar. We'll toss it over to you.
Okay, good deal. Yeah, and I don't know of any really good single sources either. A lot of the stuff, for me, it was just a lot of Googling and poking around multiple different places. So unfortunately, I don't really have a good answer on that one either. But with that, I am actually going to check out for the evening, as I've got, one of them's done watching his videos that I need to work with, and get some of them settled down for the evening and stuff. So I will check back out, and if I happen to become available again before the net's over, I might just kind of pop in on net longer to give you a heads up. But otherwise, just you can consider me checked out for the evening. Thanks a lot, and have a good one, everybody. N3 VEM.
Alright, N3 VEM KJ7 on returning. Thanks for stopping by and hanging with us for a bit. I shall say 7-3, and you have a wonderful rest of your night. Victor Kilo 5, Charlie Lima Delta Kilo Juliet 7, Oscar Mike Oscar.
VK7 LMO and the group VK5 CLD. Yeah, from the resources that I've encountered for the digital stuff, annoyingly a lot of the sources for it are really good at providing information on one particular mode. Most of the information are champions of a mode, rather than being brought in all of the digital technologies. So it's quite easy to find, from at least what I've seen, good videos on DMR or D-Star or Fusion, but nothing that's really across all of them. Like I've seen, I'm probably going to get this wrong. It's a kind of a weird username, so if I can find it, I might put it in the chat channel on the PRG Discord. I think to the tune of radiosification, or something like that, who does a bit of experimentation with the multi-mode stuff through the MMDVM hotspots. So using Fusion radios to get into P25 and MXDN. And from watching some of that stuff, the broad up is that the digital, at least, which matters quite a lot when it comes to audio quality, with the ability, obviously with the ability on which you can not compress the signal so hard. And he was talking, Jared, about P25 for that reason, that it does quite well, and I think it's 25 kilohertz wideband, and tends to put some clear audio. And as such, it's just like I've been staring at old Motorola P25 radios on eBay and have to tell myself to just wait and play around with stuff. But I think bandwidth is kind of the key for voice quality, although codec does play a big role in that as well. Yeah, I'll see what I can find. I'll if I can find that channel again, I'll post a link on the Discord, because that one's been helping me a little bit. But I think that's all from me today. I'll.
Alright, VK5 CLD KJ7 Omo returning. Unfortunately, we've lost the end of your transmission there, but we did got most of it. Yeah, copy that. Well, you can cross mode with the MMDVM Raspberry Pi hotspots. You could put your Fusion radio onto DMR, NXDN, and P25 networks. For DMR and NXDN, you don't need to do anything on the radio, since DMR and NXDN share the same audio codec as narrowband Fusion. But in order to use your Fusion radio with the P25 networks, you'll have to go into your radio settings and enable the voice wide mode. That's I believe that's labeled as Victor Whiskey on the radios. And other radios, I think, would show voice wide. So yeah. You'll need to enable the voice wide mode on the radio, which is disabled by default for some dumb reason. Then after that, you could connect your Fusion radio cross mode your Fusion radio into P25, and it will work pretty good. Fusion has audio shares the wideband audio codec with P25. So on narrowband mode, it has the same codec as DMR and NXDN, and on wideband mode, Fusion has the same codec as P25. So yeah, there will be virtually no difference in audio quality if you get your radio set up correctly. Alrighty, next station on the list is Victor Kilo 3, Tango Charlie Papa, Kilo Juliet 7, Oscar Mike Oscar.
I don't have anything to add this round, so I'll just pass it back to you, Kimberly. KJ7 November, VK3, Tango Charlie Papa.
Alrighty, not a problem. We're at the bottom of the list, so let's see if we have anybody else out there wishing to check in to the Worldwide Pride Net, also known as the Pride Radio Group Net. Please come now with your call sign slowly, twice, and phonetically, and if you like, you may include your pronouns as well. Once again, this is Kilo Juliet 7, Oscar Mike Oscar, she, her, and I will be standing by for more check-ins to the net. Alright, do we have any additional check-ins to the net at this time? Alrighty, for those of you who are unable to check in on the air, you may also check in via Mastodon, Discord, NetLogger, my YouTube live stream, or if you know my Twitter, you may check in via that as well. And you can also send me an email on on QRZ. My email is good on QRZ, so you can also send an email, and I will check you in via that way as well. So Mastodon, Discord, Netlogger, email, Twitter, or any other platform that I'm on. If you know any of those, then you can check in that way. Alrighty. Kilo Charlie 3, Victor India Uniform, Kilo Juliet 7, Oscar Mike Oscar, back to you.
Thank you again, Kimberly. KC3VIU. Yeah, I'm going to have to do some more research into those digital modes. But I did want to mention briefly here that I'm now serving on the board of directors for a local not-profit group called Let It Jesus Love, and we were the group was the part of the people that facilitated that move last weekend. Also, we had a karaoke night last night, and oh my goodness, we had so much fun. I stood up and did Weird Al's Truck Driving Song, and actually to a bit of a standing ovation. I really, really enjoyed myself last night. It's all family events, so not even any extra liquid encouragement of any kind. Just had a root beer. So, yeah, we did a whole bunch of Weird Al songs, and a friend and I did the Commando Cody song, Hot Rod Lincoln, as well. So we were just having ourselves a good old time. And it was really fun to loosen up, especially after the worries and stuff of this week, and trying to make sure we could find this Catherine a good home. So I think I'm going to just monitor from this point, so I'm going to say 33 and 73 to all out there, because I think I'm about ready to fall asleep. So back to net control, thank you, and good night.
Alright, Kilo Charlie 3, Victor India Uniform, Kilo Juliet 7, Oscar Mike Oscar returning. Well, 3373 and all the numbers to you, and you have yourself a wonderful night, and sleep well when you get there. And thanks for hanging out with us as always. We have a comment, but not an official check-in on Mastodon. From Luke in Windsor, VE3LDJ at universodon.com. Thank you for making Ham Radio a welcoming place for everyone. Well, thank you for your comment. Well, if you can hear this and you want to officially check in, just let me know and I'll throw you on the list. If not, thanks for the comment once again, and 7-3. Alright, Victor Kilo 5, Charlie Lima Delta, Kilo Juliet 7, Oscar Mike Oscar, over to you.
J7OMO in the group, VK5CLD. Well, thank you for the information about the codec sharing there, and I've just looked up a bit of a demo video in between overs there of just how one's been able to get their Fusion radio to sound over on VW mode. So I'm out at the moment, but I think I might break out the foldering iron when I get home and get the MMDVM set up, because I'm keen to get on that. Hopefully that should alleviate some of the issues I'm having with copying people on the narrow mode. I think I'll also say 73s for now. The rain is starting to roll in where I am up here, so I might try to get home. I am in the car, but I am on a bit of a dirt road, so it'd be best to get home before the rain rolls in. VK5CLD, remaining listening, but checking out for now.
Alrighty, VK5CLD KJ7 I'm returning, not a problem. Sorry about that. I slipped off the PTT button. Hate it when that happens. Yeah. Well, lucky for you. We also have a wideband only reflector for this network on the YSF. So, in addition to the narrowband reflector, we have wideband reflector as well. So you could test all that fun stuff. Anyways, thanks for checking in and hanging out with us, and I shall say 7-3, and do be safe out there in the bad weather. Victor Kilo 3 Charlie Victor Kilo 3 Tango Charlie Papa. I need to get some sleep because I haven't slept yet, so that's why I'm stumbling all the time. Kilo Juliet 7 Oscar Mike Oscar, over to you.
Well, at least you've got a good reason why you're stumbling over your words. I just do it in the act of being awake and trying to function in the world at any time and any place. I also need to make a move. I may be listening a little bit longer, but I've got more Sylvester running around and things to take care of. Appreciate hearing about the karaoke was at KC3 value. I haven't heard the album Running with Scissors in an incredibly long time. So just take me back for a moment there. And Hot Rod Lincoln is always an excellent song, which not enough people are aware of. So go have a listen to that if you like a little bit of older music. That's it for me, 7-3 to everyone. Thanks for running the net, Kimberly. And I'll try and come back again a little bit sooner. KJ7 VK3 Tango Charlie Papa.
Victor Kilo 3 Tango Charlie Papa Kilo Juliet 7 Oscar Mike Oscar returning. Alright, well, thanks for hanging out with us, and I shall say 7-3 to you as well. Doggies, believe it or not, I'm actually maybe 8 to 10 hours past my bedtime? Yeah, I'm running on fumes here, but before I go, let's see real quick if we have anybody else out there wishing to check into the Worldwide Pride Net, also known as the Pride Radio Group Net. Please come now with your call sign slowly, twice, and phonetically, and if you wish, you may throw your pronouns in there as well. This is Kilo Juliet 7 Oscar Mike Oscar, and I'll be standing by for any additional check-ins to the net. Alrighty, before I shut things down, do we have any more check-ins to the net? Please come now. Alrighty, doesn't look like we have any further check-ins, and with nobody remaining, we'll go ahead and call this a wrap. We've had a total of 9 check-ins, including yours truly. 8 on air, 1 online via Mastodon. I would like to thank all of you for participating and having fun on this net. I also would like to thank the Waverly Amateur Radio Society in Sydney, as well as the folks behind the VK3RBO repeater for allowing us to hijack your systems to relay this net. I will now... Oh yeah, and I also would like to thank Victor Kilo 3 Julia Echo Delta, Victor Kilo 2 Whiskey Alpha Yankee, and the rest of the Pride Radio group for making this net and this network possible. Without them, none of this would be here. I now return all frequencies, repeaters, and other systems back to their abnormal abuse. I mean, normal amateur radio use. Hi. 7-3, everybody, from Kilo Juliet 7, Oscar Mike Oscar. And for those of you who are on YouTube, I will now be closing this stream. Be sure to like, subscribe, ring the bell, and we'll see you on the next one. 7-3, y'all, from Kilo Juliet 7, Oscar Mike Oscar.